There's a misunderstanding of what humility is. C.S. Lewis says that humility is not thinking less of yourself; it's thinking of yourself less.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, what humility is understanding who you are in God's kingdom.
Right.
It's understanding
an accurate view.
Exactly.
Of who you are. Yeah.
People who view themselves, oh, I suck, I'm all this. That's not humble.
Right.
Man, you are flipping off God by doing that, man.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I'm not good enough. You didn't make me good enough. That's mean. It's a mean language to yourself and to God.
Right.
But when you speak in terms of, God, no, I am seated in heavenly places.
Wow.
God has created me for righteousness.
Right.
He has a plan for me. He has written me before I even knew. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you.
Right.
And so understanding that's my value in life, and I think getting that idea resonating with my generation is how you really get that going.
Thank you. Welcome back to In Conversation with Joel Brooks. I'm back with a second session with Devon Knowlton. Devon is one of the members of our church. Devon's going to be 18 pretty soon, and he's gotten on fire for the Lord. So we're going to talk some about what's going on in his age group and his generation. Which generation are you?
Gen Z.
You're Gen Z. Okay. Yeah. I can't keep up with all of the letters, but he's Gen Z, and there seems to be a move of God happening with that. We've had some recent events that has affected that generation, so we're going to talk about some of those, okay? So there's revival in your group, huh? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't really explain it. It's something God is just moving.
Yeah.
People are I mean, I saw as a result of the Charlie Kirk assassination, people flooding into church on social media, just people going in, and there's a Catholic guy who I follow, and he spoke about how there were people who weren't wearing traditional Catholic clothes who would go to like church or whatever, like, I guess nice dress clothes. They were wearing just sneakers and shorts, and he said it made him tear up because he saw people, they felt, I need to do something now.
Wow.
I'm at a loss.
Now, what prompted that, you think?
Well, I think
why would Charlie Kirk's death have that impact upon people?
I think it's because of his faith. I really do.
Okay.
I think that he was a devout follower, and what that caused people to really do is critically think. So he died not refuting this stuff. He actually believed it. Okay. And I guess these people were big followers of him. Right. And they maybe they weren't Christian yet, and they or maybe they were, but they hadn't ever really gone to church or whatever. And then they realized that this is what I need to do. Yeah.
Now I know that Charlie kind of used politics and worldview stuff as a Trojan horse to kind of get his faith in there. So you think that has something to do with it?
It could be. I don't really know enough to tell you.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now he's a controversial figure, to
Certainly.
say the least. And I know there's some people in my world who really don't get what the excitement's about. They were sorry that the way he died, and the fact that he's a family man and a husband and that, but they don't get it. So help them get it. What's going on with it? Why do you think he was so effective?
Yeah, so I started following him about 3 years back, and I'm not a big into politics guy, so I don't really know that side of the thing. Okay. But I was really caught on by his faith.
Okay.
And
really?
it was genuine.
Wow. So his faith was out front.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think there's a misconception that he was this straight up Republican and wholehearted and Jesus is kind of irrelevant, but he wants to bring him in so that he can force this down people's throats.
Okay, yeah, some people have that view of him.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
Really?
Not at all.
What did you see?
I saw a man of God. A man who wanted. I mean, if you take a look at there's some videos you can see of the grace that he handled with people.
Yeah,
just unbelievable.
Okay.
And just the tone of voice, calm, not getting ramped up at people who are screaming at him, and I find that refreshing. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Say some more about that. It help, because I know some people that really struggle with his take on what they feel was his take on race his take on some other things that they saw him as a hateful man.
Yeah.
And so help me with that, because you didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, to talk about race, race is a lie. It is a complete lie.
The concept is,
Perpetrated by the devil to
Yeah.
separate us.
Right.
There's neither Jew nor Greek nor Gentile, but all are one in Christ Jesus. And so this whole idea of race, it is so people are so obsessed with it. This needs to define us, that we have to be different.
Okay.
No.
Right.
No. And I always go back to this. It's for the Christians who bring it up the most, bring up race the most. Why did Jesus never talk about it? And my argument would be because he didn't think that we'd be dumb enough to view each other differently. Because of
it, yeah.
It's not even a thought that would have come to his mind. And so Charlie, he never talked about race unless it was brought up to him. People brought up things to him, and he would always refute it, saying, "No, this is not successful." There was one guy who I saw talking about how the DNA of black people and white people are different, and he was like, "No,
I saw that video.
Yeah. It's a complete lie."
Right.
And so there's I really don't know. Some people will clip things out of context, and if you were to find anything that you said, you could clip something out of context completely and then flame you for it.
Right.
And that's unfair. It's completely unfair. And I've had people tell me personally, like, yeah, he was a racist guy. I'm like, okay, well, can you just find something that in context that was racist? And they've yet to find something for me.
Really?
And it's been a month.
Wow. Okay.
It's been a month since the shooting happened. So yeah.
Well, that's interesting, because I know some people who have a very, very different view. People in my world, in my church, had a very different view of it. And so everything that I saw, when he contextualized what he said, he was against diversity, equity, and inclusion. He was against that. Yeah. And they made black people the face of that, even though black people are not the benefactors of it. Right. Okay. And so, they make a big deal out of that. But I've had some people just hard fast would not change their view of him. No matter what they saw, and they felt like he came back and still said. I think he said some things that, in the spirit of what he was said, would be offensive, and that are things that I wouldn't have said in that spirit about anybody. And so I think that's the one thing we have to watch, is speaking the truth in love. Yeah. That we want to say things, because once a person is offended, the Bible says a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. Absolutely. And so once I offend you, then it's going to be hard for me to reach you, even if I want to turn things around, if that makes sense. Yeah, and that's exactly what we are as Christians. And it comes down to that, is if we're gonna say, oh, well, what you're doing right now sucks, it makes no sense, it's stupid. Right. Well, you just push somebody away. Right. Congratulations. Yeah. Right. That's what you've done. You're not going to reel them back in. Right. But instead try to understand where they're coming from. Right. And I think that's often an attack that people have on Charlie, now that he's not here to defend himself. Right. Oh, well, he did all these things. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't get a chance to grow into the person that God wanted to make him to be. Yeah. And so that's interesting. Tell me some other things about revival, about young people in revival, and how they're reacting to this. I guess some churches filled up. I don't think it had an impact on ours. Yeah. Attendance-wise, but I guess like when 9/11 happened, all the churches filled up. Yeah. And I guess that you had a similar reaction to this. Some of my friends tell me that their churches experienced a similar reaction. Yeah. That's interesting. What do you think is going on there? Well, there's an interesting part of it where it's people tend to go to a place of comfort in times of crisis. Right, okay. And so they were shook. Yeah. And so I think that there is a certain part of it that is people who are either scared and they just want a little place to hide for a little bit, and then they leave whenever everything settles down. When it settles down, yeah. But this time feels a little different, though. Okay. I really think that this one, people are sticking with it. Yeah. They're realizing they need a guidance in their life. And because it's being dictated right now in my generation with social media. Okay. That is the God. And then it causes me to have to navigate and become another God. I am also going to be God of my life. I decide what's right and wrong. Right. And that's a dangerous way to live. But when you have structure around your life, and Jesus provides the most fluid structure, that's refreshing. And that really helps people. So. Okay. So clarity, hope, maybe are some of the things people are getting there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So you feel like it's not just a fad, it's a sincere move of God.
Yeah.
What makes you feel that?
Well, I think seeing the emotion that people have, and I think that's something that is a negative but also positive thing with my generation. We're so emotional.
Okay.
And I think that we get so easily offended with things.
Touchy.
And because of that, we also feel so much emotion towards reality of truth. And I think it's, people get offended by the truth oftentimes. And people are understanding, maybe sometimes the truth is a little offensive, but it's going to help me because it is the truth.
Okay.
And that's what they're coming to Christianity with.
So there, and you mentioned something in the last session, that the hunger, you feel there's a real hunger, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's the key is to be hungry for it, because hunger will push you past your issues. When I'm hungry, man, my qualms fall because I just want to feed. I want to be fed.
Yeah.
I want the food, and so that's an important thing. So let's say you got some young people. You have people from every generation. What do you think is the message for my generation? I'm a boomer.
Yeah.
Okay. With what's happening with Gen Z, what can I do as a pastor, as a boomer pastor, to maybe help Gen Z with what they're dealing with?
Yeah. I think just be open to understanding the emotion that people have.
Okay.
I think that previous generations don't have as much of that offense type nature in them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And so being, you got to be very caring and compassionate with us. I've realized.
Really? Okay.
Very much so.
Okay. How does that look from a pastor standpoint? How does caring and compassion look?
Well, I've seen these videos of some of these pastors going out and just hammering down. Man, this is of Satan. This is demonic stuff. All this.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Right.
Whoa.
Right.
What I'm doing is demonic?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be here if what I'm doing is demonic. No, but if you come in it from a standpoint of, hey, you came here to learn. How about we learn something together?
Right.
Let's build together.
Right.
And so having a more of an adoption mentality rather than a forcing down the throat type thing.
Yeah. One of the things that I wrestle with is my pattern has always been believe, belong, become. And I don't know if you can speak to this or not, but I find with the other generations, it's belong, believe, become.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
So does that ring?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you understand? Help me understand why belonging is so important, because for me, believing is important.
Yeah.
It was, believing the right stuff, being in the Bible, the right scriptures. Okay, you got to believe, then you belong, then you become. So how does that walk out with you?
Well, it should absolutely be a priority to believe.
Okay.
Not to feel
you
like
see
you
it
need
similar to the way I see it.
Yeah.
You see believing as the first thing.
It should be the first. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
But we're not that way. People naturally feel I need to be cared about by people around me in order to feel accepted.
Right.
And that's often where it comes with the atheistic stuff is that, Christianity doesn't accept me.
Okay.
So I don't want to be in this.
So what should we do about that then?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, it's changing our language, changing the way we speak.
Okay.
You spoke about some of the controversial things that Charlie might have said, that's like, this is pushing me away.
Right.
It's not a good sign.
Right.
But when we come to people with that, as Peter says, with gentleness and respect,
okay,
in 1 Peter 3:15, you're able to really connect with people, to really connect. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So when you mentioned 1 Peter 3:15, I think that's where the basis for apologetics comes from, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that the context for that is being humility. The context for 3 is not being a fighter so much as being humble, and bringing it with humility. Yeah. And so you feel maybe that's lacking among people today that are trying to fight for the faith.
There's a misunderstanding of what humility is. C.S. Lewis says that humility is not thinking less of yourself; it's thinking of yourself less.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, what humility is understanding who you are in God's kingdom.
Right.
It's understanding
an accurate view
exactly.
of who you are. Yeah.
People who view themselves, oh, I suck, I'm all this. That's not humble.
Right.
Man, you are flipping off God by doing that, man.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
I'm not good enough. You didn't make me good enough. That's mean. That's a mean language to yourself and to God.
Right.
But when you speak in terms of, God, no, I am seated in heavenly places.
Wow.
God has created me for righteousness.
Right.
He has a plan for me. He has he has written me before I even knew. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you.
Right.
And so understanding that's my value in life, and I think getting that idea resonating with my generation is how you really get that going. Is understanding who you are is not what you feel, but who God called you to be.
Okay. So maybe preach potential, who you could be, as opposed to who you are. With Jesus, you could be this person or that person. That's interesting. Yeah. Because I know with mine has been, pound away at believing. My favorite question for people is, what do you believe? When they come and present a problem to me that they want me to help them solve, I'm like, what do you believe about it? What do you believe about yourself in relationship to the problem? And so that's interesting. What advice would you give? What other advice would you give a pastor who wants to really be effective with Gen Z?
Yeah, I think that if you nail down on that one I just said, it's going to help.
The compassion piece there,
because and it's going to take a long time too. I think it's being patient.
Right.
Patience is a huge virtue.
Yeah.
One of the biggest parts of ministry is patience, is waiting and listening to people and listening to God.
Right. So, as a Gen Zer who visits the church, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
When you walk in the door, what are you looking at, and what are you looking for when you walk through the door?
So, from my perspective, or from just a general?
Well, both. What would you look for, and what would a person in your generation? Because I want to be effective.
Yeah.
And so, what are you looking for in a church? Is it the music? Is the
fellowship is number one?
Okay, fellowship.
And it's different than belonging, because belonging is trying to fit yourself into something, but fellowship is trying to have everybody fit around you, I think, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. So fellowship, warmth, openness. Okay, I got you. So that would be the people who welcome people in.
Yeah.
And
sure.
how people treat when you come in and you sit down and that kind of thing.
Yeah, anybody around you, the whole congregation is together in that, right?
Okay,
they're all one. Even if you are sitting over here and there's somebody way over there, you never have ever communicated to them. You are part of the same body, and so each of you has an integral part to that kingdom, to the kingdom, but to that church. So,
okay, so fellowship, welcoming, being a welcoming place. I got you. Where does do they want passionate preaching? Do they want lectures? What do they want?
Well, they don't like lectures. I'll tell you that much.
Right,
they don't because they don't like being told what to do.
Okay.
They don't like being told what to do at all.
When I said lecture, I'm thinking more of a conversational way of preaching, as opposed to pounding the table and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've found it. They don't like it as much to be told what to do, and so they want to first learn. Well, what am I here for?
I got you.
I want to know why I should come back.
Right.
Okay. Well, once we establish that, why you should come back, which is, I think there's some key reasons why you should come back, because it adds structure to your life, and that's one of the things I keep on coming back to is structure.
Right.
So
now you're headed off to Charis. Is it Bible school? What
Bible
is it?
college. Yep,
Bible
Charis
college. Okay. That's Andrew Womack's world out in Colorado. What drew you to them?
Yeah, I had a friend talk to me about the school. It was last summer, not this past summer, but the summer prior, and I really just prayed on it. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting upbringing in my life. I had never heard of this place before. I had never heard of Andrew, actually.
Right.
And my dad spoke to you about it. And apparently you had given endorsement kind of towards that. Like you like Andrew.
I love Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew's
and
great,
so I've heard, I've gone there a couple times, and man, I've just fallen in love with it. Great community, great atmosphere.
So what are your aspirations? What are you going to major in? What do you see yourself doing?
Yeah. Well, so they have, it's a little different than like a regular college. You know,
Okay.
they have certain ministry classes. You know, they
Right.
have one textbook, and I always tell people this. It is a 66 book compiled. 66 books are compiled into this one book. You might have heard of it before. It's called the Bible.
Yeah.
And so
That's the only
textbook they have. They don't have any other thing.
Really?
That's the-
I know he's written several books himself.
Yeah.
They don't even use
sell
this
those.
stuff?
They have those in the shop, but
Yeah.
they don't use that. No.
In the class.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, you know, the
I've
BYOB.
never heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Bring your own Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, different professors have like to different versions. And Andrew, he is a King James guy. So,
Yeah. He still uses the King James. Yeah, I noticed that when he's preaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to become? Where do you see yourself becoming?
It's a great question. To be honest
Or
with
do
you,
you have that figured out yet?
yeah, it's not been entirely figured out.
Yeah.
I have really had ideas of being possibly a pastor.
Okay.
You know, in the long run, but I think next year I'll be starting doing prison ministry.
Okay.
As my
Wow.
dad started out doing that, and so I think
Wow,
that would be
great.
a good spot. You know, I started doing chaplaincy over the past summer.
Really?
And so I was kind of shadowing
With the
some guys.
local law
Yeah,
enforcement?
with the Michigan chaplains. Yeah, here in Kalamazoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, man. That's awesome. So you see yourself possibly being a pastor, huh?
Could be.
That's interesting. I've loved pastoring. It's been great
Yeah.
for me. Yeah. You get to make a difference. It's a real, I mean, you know, people come for the hour, you know, however long I preach, probably a little too long. But what an opportunity to get to pour into people.
Yeah.
And to get to speak into their worldview and how they see things in their life. And so it's an amazing opportunity.
Absolutely.
That's great, man. Well, that's great. So there's school coming up. When will that happen? Fall of next year or summer of next year?
Towards the end of summer next year, I believe, is when I'll head out there and then get everything settled.
So how long of a program is that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So-
I'm down to be there for as long because you know, one of
right.
the Andrew says, like, I think it's like 60% of your grade is reading through the whole Bible every year. And
Wow.
I've done it before. I've read the Bible extensively. I love it. So that
Wow,
it's
great.
great. Yeah.
That's great, man. You could have worse problems than being out in the picturesque mountains
Oh yeah. Yeah.
talking about God every day.
You
What
are
a deal.
completely captured into that environment. You
Yeah.
know, mountains around. You can't escape God.
Yeah, right. That's awesome, man. Well, it's been great talking to
Absolutely.
you, man. And I wish you all the best.
Yeah,
And
thank
you
you
know
for
I'm
having me.
here to help
Absolutely.
anytime, okay? God bless you, man. You all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.